Well, as South Africa commemorates Human Rights Day under the theme South Africa United Against Racism, Aldirn Sampear looks at stories of alleged racism that have hit institutions of higher learning. He asks the question, who's culpable?
From basic education to higher education, racism or perceived racism is evident. Last year, as the country celebrated its maturing democracy, 21 years to be precise, this story hits the newsrooms. Pupils at Kuro Private School placed in different classes according to race.
The findings were indeed damning. That there was indeed segregation of learners at that school. And this was confirmed by Kuro management, and they admitted that this was as a result of pressure from certain white parents who didn't want their children to mix with other children of other races. To me, this is completely unacceptable. It's discriminatory and contrary to the provisions of Section 9 of our Constitution.
From the same school, this video emerged. Pupils going on a field trip, again, separate buses for different race groups.
Our school is happy and integrated with happy children. There was no racism on this trip.
The little one is still going there. The other one has already escaped the system. Yeah, so I have a reason to worry.
Are teachers culpable? Are pupils culpable? Like at Landbou School in the Northern Cape. A black pupil was fastened to a bed by 4 white schoolmates. He was stripped, a broomstick shoved into his rectum, while a soapy substance was poured over his head. It was an initiation ritual, they explained. Are parents culpable? A coloured community of Roodepoort accused of racism. They allegedly demanded a coloured principal be appointed at this school instead of the black principal.
This argument is steeped in racism. These are coloured people that feel this is their community and they want coloured teachers and principals. They want coloured nurses at the clinics. These people are steeped in the past. These people, they need a paradigm shift. We are moving away from racism.
This is not about racism. There's black children that attend the school over here. There were black teachers all the years. But since this principal came in, this is where the trouble has started.
Days of schooling were lost while black teachers fled. But it's at higher education institutions where racism has taken center stage. From the University of Cape Town, where symbols of racial segregation took a knock, to the universities of Stellenbosch and Pretoria, where the debate on Afrikaans has divided the institutions.
You do get a few Afrikaans people who came from Afrikaans schools, primary school, high school, and their English is really bad. Like, I know a few myself. And the problem would be is if you had to take away Afrikaans completely, these students would struggle, and it is quite a large majority of the University of Pretoria.
We want one medium of instruction, and the reason why we want one medium of instruction, for example, is in a class which is English, multilingual class, we'll have a situation where questions are asked in Afrikaans and the answers are given in Afrikaans, such that even the English students who could actually benefit from those questions are not allowed to benefit from it.
Interestingly, it takes place 40 years after the June 16 Soweto uprising, where pupils refused to be taught in Afrikaans. Those flames are still burning, and unresolved issues are spilling over. Are vice-chancellors culpable? These are not South African students. They are more than 14,000 kilometers away. These are the black students of the University of Missouri in the United States. Their struggles are the same.
Tim Wolf must acknowledge his white male privilege, recognize that systems of oppression exist,
Under the pressure, the head of the University of Missouri, Tom Wolf, resigned. Clearly, racism knows no borders.
We love this university, which is why we are so critical of this university. White supremacy exists here, racism exists here, but we exist here as well. And we are not going to take it any longer. And if you like white supremacy, if you like racism, if you like all that, keep sitting. Keep sitting. And your children are going to be sitting through the same exact.
And that's it. It's the vicious cycle of racism. But beyond this, the grappling question is, can black people be racist? Aldirn Sampear, SABC News, Johannesburg.